First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante Davis.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up, good people out there? You already know who it is. You got your 8 o'clock boys.
Your
on-time boys. Your favorite pod, the 3-Man Weave podcast. Welcome back, baby. You already know you got me, your host with the most, your guy Buchanan, and your other favorite host.
You already know what it is. You got your boy AJ, and it's still Suns all day, you bitches.
It better be.
God damn it.
Don't do no waving over here, man.
Oh shit. You know, I done stayed down too long to run now. To run now.
As you've been down,
Come on now. If it's anybody whose loyalty on the teams you ain't got a question.
Yeah.
It's me, bro. I done been through it all. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts, bro.
And hey, Chris, I'm just saying, notice who be on time when someone ain't here. You dig what I'm saying? I don't think we be late when somebody is missing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? But you already know what it is. Y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the 3-Man Weave podcast on YouTube. And hit that thumbs up button on every single one of them videos. Matter of fact, just go back while you at work tomorrow. Just go to the YouTube channel and just hit play all on all our YouTube videos. And then if you see you ain't thumbs up that bitch, go ahead and hit that thumbs up on that thing one good time. And then make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 3manweave_. Join in on the podcast group on Facebook, 3-Man Weave group. It's some fun shit going on in there. So make sure you jump in on that. And also, don't forget to email us any questions, man. We are a pod of the people.
Definitely.
Podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. So you already know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Hill ain't here, but I do want to talk about something real quick. But I want to make sure that you are up to speed. You heard Kendrick?
Yeah, definitely. I'm up to speed.
What are your thoughts?
Man. But today was the first day I drove away from my house in a few days. So
understandable.
I really got to listen to it. I just say, man, I hate when people overplay stuff, but this dude is a damn genius, man. And it's funny because I told him we seen some comments and people were like, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, what? I'm telling him I had heard it already, but I haven't really listened to it yet.
Right.
I'm like, yo, how can people just say it's the greatest thing? But what I will say is there's no other rapper in this game like Kendrick, man. The way he attacked that. And now I kind of understand why he don't bombard us with music.
He can't.
Because he puts too much thought into his music.
It's too much lived experience. It's too much like true feeling and life experience, storytelling, and conceptualized like thoughts.
Yeah, man.
And to me,
everything, bro.
And to me, this album, like I know people, like for me, people really enjoyed Damn, but
I did.
Enjoy Damn. To Pimp a Butterfly was kind of like it got mixed reviews because people were looking for a good kid, Mad City. So they were expecting that. But those who were able to digest and really stomach everything that Kendrick was saying really enjoyed To Pimp a Butterfly. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I think, gave you it gave you To Pimp a Butterfly feel, but had some really damn I won't even say songs, but
These
beats
were.
on it had some damn like or maybe even Good Kid, Mad City type beats, but
Mhm.
still giving you that deep introspective rap.
Definitely deep
And
introspect.
so it's like regardless of like it still gives you that bop because like even like that some like the Blast record, the one with
Mhm.
Summer Walker, he's still on there telling you some shit.
Yeah.
And
Even
so
the
to
joint
me,
with Kodak.
yeah. And also, just the way he did it. And, I heard some people actually complain about the production on here, but to me, the
I
way that
kinda
he
did initially until I was able to get into my car.
the way that to me, you also have to take into account the production of actually having Kodak on so many places in this album
Mhm.
and kind of the reason why.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm thinking too deep, but it's hard to actually say that when you're listening to a Kendrick album. Like, are you listening too deep? Because it's kind of what the fuck you supposed to do.
But
Like,
I think you just nailed it. I say this a lot about a lot of artists. Sometimes your beats take away from what you are saying because the beat is so hard or so
mhm,
classic. I think that I feel like Hit Boy and Nas have been able to do this of recent. Make the beat and not outdo what the artist is saying. It's
very
like a
simplistic.
perfect marriage of what they were doing, man. I really enjoying the album, man. Um, I really don't have nothing bad to say about it. And I went at it when I listened to it. I listened to it looking for critiques just because the way that people were just gassed over it. I was like, yo, it can't be. But it's like I couldn't find anything, bro,
Yeah, and I'm with Hill. Car listening over
over everything, bro.
anything else. Because for me, you know, just a force of habit. As soon as it dropped, I'm like, all right, bro, we've been waiting for this Kendrick for 5 years. So as soon as it dropped, I started playing it on my phone. I'm like, all right, cool.
That
And
was
it kind of
another
was
one of
like,
the
and
days.
I was like, okay. N95 came on. I'm like, all right, cool.
Mhm,
But then he started getting into some other stuff, and I couldn't really grasp it because it's like my phone wasn't loud enough. It was midnight. My son
mhm.
sleep, and I ain't
Yeah,
trying to be down here, blasting no music. So the next day, I played it in my car, and I'm like, oh, I see what he's doing. I
yeah,
I I see what
yeah.
I
Same
see what
thing
he's
happened
doing
to me.
here, and even like I was saying, like having Kodak on so much of that album is a part of to me his thinking of a lot of what he was saying, and let's talk about my auntie is when we talk
Mhm.
about my auntie's a man now, where he's saying like, hey, we all make mistakes, we've
Yep,
all said some shit that you go back on, we may not have known, but we not perfect.
facts.
Cancel culture ain't real because we all fuck up and we all got some
Mhm.
shit in our past. And I think you
Facts.
know, Kodak has been known to get in his way a whole lot.
Mhm.
And so I think that having that part on there and
Yeah.
having Eckhart Tolle on there as, a world-renowned, therapist and talking about some of, his issues and the needs that he's had and where he's, shortcomings in his therapy. It's like, bro, this is well thought out. And
Yeah, it's definitely that's it's definitely well thought out, man. It's like one of my favorite songs is probably gonna be a song that a lot of people don't they might skip it. I like Rich Spirit, bro.
yeah,
Like I
absolutely.
kept playing that joint, like uh, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I could personally relate to it, but it's just like, man, I I don't have nothing, ain't nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah,
And I'm just it's very rare when someone is as hyped as Kendrick can deliver and live up to the hype. And I look at the last Dreamville, like a lot of there's always mixed reviews on the Dreamville.
hmm,
I like Dreamville, but it's just like people are expecting it, and then it's just always mixed reviews. Kendrick is one of those people who's always expected to deliver and then just still delivers, which is crazy to me.
exactly. And for me, I want to go back to what you said. You kind of can't put Kendrick in kind of like when we're talking about best rappers. I can't put him in a class with Drake.
No,
I don't think Drake could do this.
he can't.
Like Drake
I don't
can't do
think
this.
there's no one. There's no
Like
one on the planet.
J. Cole, he'll give you great raps and he does give you some introspection. But just to me, like this is just different.
This is
And
fully
and I'm not
this
I'm not saying one
this
is
is a
better.
mirror for society, bro.
Right. And literally to be able to do this, to make it something that is going to be listened to by the masses.
Yeah, facts.
to talk about some of the things that he was talking about, to even drop the F-bomb multiple times on this album. It's like it's genius to
Yeah.
and literally from start to finish, I was pleased,
Yeah.
especially once I got in my car. It's like
Yeah.
song like song sequencing, everything.
And it's still not alone. It's still not, it's like, dang, I'm back at the beginning.
Yeah.
She's like, dang, like, well, let's run it. Let's run it back then. So
And I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum of Hill. Hill really likes short albums. When it's someone that I
I
like,
like a medium album.
like when it's someone that I really like, whose music that I really
I don't
like,
like short albums.
I don't like short albums because once again, it's just I like I want to hear more from you. Like,
I feel like Big Crit album was too short.
yeah, it was for me. I'm like, keep
I
going,
like it. It's a great album.
and then when you could do that, it shows like your like how much you can be a chameleon, how you can keep my attention and make great songs, and without just giving us a 20-minute project of
Yeah,
like
I don't like
8
that,
songs. I
bro.
don't like that because I grew up in the CD era where, hey,
Yeah.
when you grew up on the CD era, they would give you about 12 to 15, sometimes 20 songs. You hit track number 3 or 4, and that ended up being a single, and then
Mhm.
you start going down, and that's when you really start getting into the B sides and stuff. So um I really have no bad things to say. I will say is, he set a high bar. So
Yeah.
whoever's
I
coming in
don't
the next couple of weeks is
I don't even think that you should look at it like that. I feel like you said, he's a different type of person. Like, you just gotta stay focused in your own lane and do you. Because prior to Kendrick, I was listening to T Grizzly, which is they completely different type of types of music, even though they're both rap music. But and I really like the T Grizzly album. I'm not gonna not like it now because
that's
Kendrick
what
put out
she
a
said.
masterpiece. I'm just gonna enjoy the masterpiece, and then I'm gonna enjoy Grizzly's album as well. So it's like,
Oh yeah. Because for me, I'm definitely still on that 42 Doug and ESTG. So they're my guys right there. And then
I'm still on
I
7220, and I'm still on King's Disease, bro.
yeah,
Like,
and I really like Future's album. Like, this is
now, see, there's a few songs that's the one that but I haven't listened to that in the car yet because I've been down. I've
yeah.
been down for the last week.
But I've actually been a real fan of this Future album, and his last couple projects I wasn't really a fan
Yeah,
of. And
definitely. I
it's
definitely agree
to
with that.
me, I'm one of those people. I can be a fan of you, but I can also tell you when I don't like when I don't like your projects.
Yeah.
And Hill says I hate Drake, but I don't hate Drake's music. I just hold him to that
I love
standard of I
love
hold him to
Drake.
this. I hold him to the standard of being a top 3 rapper right now. And to me, some of his last few projects wasn't that, but that Future, this album kind of takes me back to when he was on that run, where he could kind of give you some of the melodic stuff. He can also give you some of the
Mhm.
upbeat stuff, and it shows why he was able to get to where he ended up being at. So I really enjoyed that album as well.
I feel like Drake, he got the Midas touch, but I don't know if so much so for albums. I feel like he wants to please everybody on the album,
Yeah.
and that leaves people like you and me feeling like, I don't like some of that stuff that he
What
does
was
on
the
the
what
album.
was the name of the
And
last the Certified Lover Boy?
yeah,
They
yeah.
like I to me
I
that was one
think
of
that's
his
a good
best.
album, though. I ain't gonna
That
lie.
was to me that was one of his best projects in
Yeah,
a
it
while.
definitely was.
Because to me it seemed cohesive, and it seemed like, hey bro, like you actually got some shit on here that you actually are
Mhm.
trying to get off of your chest, and you
Yeah.
got some
Facts.
emotion. That was one of the things that I really said was an issue with me when it came to Drake, is I started to feel like he lacked emotion in his music.
And that could have been, when you the boss, sometimes you got to try to act like nothing bothers you. But that don't always work because we live in a time where people value transparency.
Exactly. And it's like, bro, like, it seemed like about time because
Yeah,
Push told you you are hiding a child.
yeah,
So,
facts. So you had
now
to
you
give
you
some type
you
of
came back,
transparency.
you had to come back and really give us something. We had some fights over the weekend, man.
Yeah, man. And speaking of fights, dang, I should have been doing the timestamps, but sorry, Michelle. Um, but speaking of fights, before we talk about the fights, I just want to say this: like we were talking in text message about boxing. And I've known this for a while, but this weekend in boxing really solidified it for me. Showtime boxing is the best boxing out there. It's better to me than pay-per-view, even Showtime pay-per-view, because I feel like pay-per-view fights a lot of times are always lopsided. How many times have we gotten a pay-per-view fight that we really wanted to see? It's always one person that we want to see and somebody else. So it's like, or we get them too late or not when we want it. So Showtime boxing, PBC and Fox, then you got pay-per-view, then you got Friday Night Fights, ESPN or whatever.
Is ESPN top rank now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
remember back when like HBO and Showtime used to actually compete.
yes,
You
that's
used to
when it
have
was best.
you had Showbox, and then you had
Mhm.
Boxing After Dark on
Boxing After
HBO.
Dark with
Bro,
Lampy.
like, bro, that was the like to me that was like I don't want to say like the
It was
golden
the golden
era
era.
of boxing,
It
but
was for me.
you would get so many fights and so many great fights.
Mhm,
Undercards would be great. You would be able to see some, up and comers,
mhm.
really boxing. I was just telling you about, one of my, most memorable
Yeah,
HBO After Dark
fact,
boxing moments. And
facts.
that's where you would literally start to like, that's where you would see the greats or,
Mhm,
really start to, come up on their apex. And so to me, that was really good before a lot of this business got into it. But like what do we always say is boxing business. And the
mhm.
reason why we don't get a lot of good pay-per-view fights is because these promoters, they want to protect their fighter. And above all else, they want to protect their fighters because they feel like
Let the O go. Canelo just showed us that. He's
and
still the king. People
and that's
don't
my
even have an O.
and that's my thing. Like you're gonna have to get the top fighters to really start taking these chances to not worry about that it's about the competition. And some of these guys, they want to finish undefeated, and to me, just because you are undefeated doesn't mean you're the greatest ever,
Yeah.
because it's
Well,
who did you fight, when did you fight them, you know what I mean?
how did
Just
you look when you fought
and
him?
how did you look when you fought them, because
Well,
there's a lot more to it.
this weekend, so we had it was 3 good fights on Showtime. I don't remember the preliminary fight, but the second fight was Jerron Boots Enos against that Canadian champion. I can't remember his name,
Yeah.
but he didn't even show up, the Canadian champion. He was destroyed by Boots, man. And what I will say is that the welterweight division, they better be scared because pretty soon the top dogs are gonna have to fight Boots. Who's ready for Boots, AJ?
um as far as the top dogs, I
Don't
think
go straight to the top. Let's
no,
start with Thurman. You
I
think
think,
Thurman is
damn
ready?
boy, I think him versus Keith Thurman is going to be a really good fight. I think say what you will about Keith Thurman, it will be a step up in competition for
It
Boots
will
as
be
well.
definitely.
So I think that it'll be a really tough task for Boots.
Mhm,
I don't think he'll be able to just go out there and knock him out
mhm. Keith
and
got defense.
yeah, Keith got defense. It's gonna be a tough fight, and he will make it tough, and he'll make it scrappy. So I think Keith Thurman will be a tough fight for him, but I think he would get rid of Keith Thurman. I don't know, Sean. Sean Porter's gone, so
Yeah,
Sean Porter's
unfortunately,
gone. But I think that would have been a really good fight for Boots because we know Sean Porter is always
that
fucking
would be
game.
a great fight for Boots, man. Boots just been knocking out everybody that he faces. He knocks out though, and that's the crazy thing. Like, have we seen power in a young fighter like this before?
Mm, power like this, we have, but I think Boots is also very slick as well. So he's doing what he's doing it what he's supposed to do, I'll say, and
Mhm.
he's handling the level of competition exactly like you would want to see that level of competition handled. Just like when we saw Shakur Stevenson,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
was I was upset how he handled that 12th round
Yeah,
because you had this man, like
mhm.
you had him beat,
Yeah,
you like he escaped the 11th round, just by a
barely.
narrow margin.
Mhm.
And then instead of making a statement to really solidify yourself, and like I said, we've always talked about that top four at that division, and I think him and Devin Haney are really close.
Yeah,
So instead of trying to put your flag in the dirt and say I'm
mhm.
here,
Yeah,
I can finish a form, like I can finish the champions.
Yeah.
You just, got on you
That's
put
my
your track
knock on Shakur Stevenson,
you
man.
put your track shoes on and you was just, trying to get out the
That's my
rat.
knock on him.
To me, that's to me that I don't like that. I don't
And
like
2
that.
fights before then, like his fight before that, he handled business. But his fight before that, that went to 12, and he kind of struggled in that fight. Did not look like himself at all, to the point where he even apologized to the fans. So,
Yeah.
but he's a young fighter, still got the world at his fingertips also. Now, when we talk about Jamel Charlo, I know maybe 5 years ago when you was living in the DMV area, I think we all were a lot of people were high on the Charlos. And then, then they started their little boxing business after they come up and started picking and choosing. And even Jamel lost to Tony Harrison, got in a draw with Castano the first fight. And so, a lot of people were down on the Charlos. And even myself had mixed feelings about the Charlos. But what I will say is, after this rematch with Castano, fight number 2, Jamel Charlo showed me something. I'm big on, like you said, proving yourself in a moment. And this fight, AJ, this fight is potential fight of the year. I'm talking about toe-to-toe action, slugfest, people trying to use their game plan, body shot, the jab being used, everything. No holding, man. Just pure mano a mano boxing. It reminds me of seeing Felix Trinidad in his prime. Like, Felix Trinidad never was for any of the cap. Like, he always wanted to just go
We
straight
gonna
to his
take care of
guy
business. Yeah.
and let's slug it out, man. So it was good to see that. And I even told Hill during the fight, I said, there is no way that this fight goes 12 because of the pace. I ain't seen a pace like that. It was almost reminiscent of Castillo Corrales.
Yep.
It was like, and then sure enough, in the 10th round, Castano's his chin couldn't hold up. And I told Hill that it wasn't gonna hold up because Hill thought he was Mexican. I said, no. He's Argentinian. It's a difference.
It's a little bit out the way. Yeah, it's a little bit further south, big dog, and they do things a little bit different there. But yeah, man.
He's undisputed now.
Right, 100%. And I've definitely been one of those people who haven't really been high on either one of the Charlos, just because, once again, like I said, I need to see the guys like fight the guys. And some of it, like their resume, it's like, yeah, you look good against people on your resume.
Yeah.
They don't tell me much about the A fighters. They don't tell me
Facts.
much about those B class fighters because like I said before,
B class fighters be real.
There's like there's a big difference in that. So I've always said, when it comes to certain resumes, I need to see it, and that's one of the reasons why. Like, even though I still think Tank is the class of his division, bro, I need to see it.
Yeah,
like I need to see you.
Stop picking layups, Tank.
Exactly. So that's really what that comes down to.
It's a good fight with Tank coming up.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's definitely a good fight with Tank, and I think Rolly is gonna test him early. But even still, like I said, I don't think Rolly is. He's not Devin Haney. He's not Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, no,
he's not. He's not the name that
Only
should.
got 14 fights.
Yeah. So
I know how I feel about that short resumes. You feel me?
Exactly. So it.
Oh, put that up there. So AC, my own brother, says still not sold on the Charlo brothers. Like, now you ain't gotta be sold on Jamal, who's undefeated, by the way, at 160. But what you cannot, I don't understand how people can disrespect what Jamel did. Jamel has all 4 belts at 154. Like, what more do you want from a boxer? You could say you haven't fought the people that you wanted, but in reality, he's cleaned out that division. Anybody who's anybody, he's fought, except for, the top tier contenders, which that's my next question for AJ. If you were Charlo, Jamel, would you fight your mandatories, or do you feel like I'm undisputed, I got the crown? There's never been a person in the 4 belt era that have the crown at 154. And, You think he should go up at 160 where his brother is and try to make noise there, or just stay at 54? What would you do?
He's not going to go up because that's his brother's division.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, even if he did that, he wouldn't do that. And, you know, Spence said they're not fighting, they won't fight,
Yeah, they're stable
anything like
mates.
that.
They're like brothers too.
Yeah, so if he does stay at 154, I do want to see him against Sebastian Fundora.
I would like that too.
I would definitely like to see him against Sebastian Fundora. So I think that could be a fight that could be made, and I think that's a fight that, you know, once again, it'll test him. He should win it,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you never know.
Got to stay focused. That's been one of the Charlo's things, because even there was some points in this fight where I felt like he wasn't focused. But hey, I'm not a type of person that hate when a person. I saw some people hating still winning. My bro Linwood, Wood the rapper, he basically said like, "All right, Charlo, you won, you got the crown, but I felt like you took a lot of rounds off and you could have finished this quicker." But here's the thing, like, I gotta go into a boxing match with a game plan. I can't go in there and say, like, my goal is to knock Brian Castano out as quick as possible. That's gonna lead me to being knocked out.
Because you still gonna get hit in the face, dog.
Thank you, bro. And Charlo got hit a lot, but it leads me to question Castano's power, because the very next day, if you look at the picture of both of them, like, Castano looks beat up and Charlo, he looks perfectly fine now. Of course, Charlo's darker, so that might have helped, you know, some of his bruises and stuff. But during the fight, it would look like he took a couple big shots.
Let me see what Castano's knockout record is. Because I don't. Yeah. So, well, he's got 17 fights with 12 knockouts.
That ain't bad.
It's not bad, but it was
And
really
two fights with Charlo. So that's.
But none of them have been a knockout,
Yeah.
and they were real early. Like as he got deeper in his career, his knockouts didn't come against nobody good.
That's true.
So, yeah, he had a split with Erislandy Lara. That's a good fight though. But
that is a good fight.
But outside of that, his resume is kind of boo boo boo.
But it's like I said, because it's like 154. It's like he was able to get the belt. Like, you know, it's not. What can a boxer do if there's no legendary person in my division? Like, what am I supposed to not get the strap and act like I'm that guy?
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Jarvis in the Facebook group. He was talking about Inoue, saying he needs to fight some, you know, more marquee fighters. And I'm like, just because you don't know that boxer doesn't mean that it's not a great fight for boxing. And that is not a tough fighter. You know, if we only talk about marquee fights, it's only like 5 names that can make a marquee fight.
Come on now. Come on. Tell him, AJ.
Like Canelo's a marquee fighter. Tyson Fury's a marquee fighter. Depending on who Errol Spence is fighting, sometimes you could even say he was a marquee fighter. But
I think so.
Yeah, like I think so.
But move up to 168.
And that's another thing that Jarvis said. Boy, something about these other cannons, boy. Y'all other cannons is tripping. Because
you saw what happened when Canelo just moved up multiple divisions.
He said Inoue should go up from featherweight up to junior welterweight.
You just don't jump from featherweight to junior welterweight.
Or go up and fight Tank. I'm like, why would he do that? That's going up like 2-3 fights to fight the very top fighter. It's the same reason. It's the same reason why I've said. It's the same reason why I've said. Like, why would you go up? Like why would you come up into my division because you're the champ at another division and just automatically think you can get a shot at me?
You should have to go to the contenders.
And because remember what I've always said about Terrence Crawford. You can go up to 147, but you shouldn't you can't just walk up at 147 and just say, "Hey,"
which he actually did it now. So it's
right, yeah, because you gotta come up here and prove you worthy. Because just like Canelo, yeah, you can come up here, but just because you the greatest down there don't mean you worth a shit up here. You
can out phase with the bevel blade.
You could be the greatest college player, but guess what? You come up to this NBA, it's different. We some dogs up here. We'll take your lunch.
Some of them people, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. AC, post that comment, AJ. I'm sure he walks around heavier. But here's the thing: like Charlo came in at 152. He literally said like he didn't have to do no sauna work for this fight. He didn't have to wear no bag. He didn't have to do any of that. He came in 2 pounds light because this is 154 is really
where he fights at.
his peak fighting weight. So,
and here's also my thing. Another thing that I hate about is, when they talk about their walk around weight, because you know what some of the greatest boxers don't have? They don't have a walk around weight, because what they fight at is usually what they at, because they're going to continuously train year round. Like Floyd Mayweather, he didn't have no walk around weight. He was at 147 all year round because he's always training. He's
maybe 149.
Yeah, you may get up a little bit more, but you're gonna be in that same area. And
when you talk, in that range.
And when you talk about, I'm sure he walks around heavier than that. Also, you got to think, yeah, they may walk around heavier than that, but when it comes time to actually get into a 12-round boxing match, I'm at 154.
Yeah,
carrying 154 versus 168 for 12 rounds of trying to fight. It's a lot different. You got a lot more water on your body. You will tire out quicker. It's just like me, my fat ass. When I'm around like 180, going up the steps is real easy. But then when like right now, when I'm about like 192, going up the steps hurt. My knees hurt. My hip hurt.
You almost in heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like shit feel look, I'm breathing different. Hey, look,
bro.
Look, Hill said, I realized moving up in weight ain't that easy thanks to my bros. And like, hey, bro, it's not as easy as people just like, oh yeah, just move up.
Canelo was making it look so easy that people think that just everyone could do it. Floyd also made it look easy. But you saw what
Manny Pacquiao, eight division world champ.
Yeah.
But
he's like also, to AJ's point, Manny Pacquiao is like a Michael Jordan when it comes to boxing. So it's like he's a ringer. and Keith Thurman said like Manny Pacquiao has that double punch that most, like if you've never fought Manny Pacquiao, you never even seen that before. You don't even know that's possible.
You don't know.
So when you get hit with it, you don't know what to do, and it's not something that you could train for because no one else can do it. So Manny Pacquiao's in a class on his own, but it's like that's still not a lot of people that we've seen done it. We've seen Manny, Floyd, Canelo.
Shit, Manny, Floyd, Canelo. And I'm talking about going up like multiple divisions. It's really hard to find find someone who was truly successful at it. Because let's not forget, Canelo was down at welterweight at one point in time,
bro.
Fighting at 147, and now he just went and fought up a light heavyweight.
A light heavyweight. Let that sink in, man.
Yeah,
and look what happened. Look what, I'm not saying they got the brakes beat off of him. He was in there, but he lost that fight because it's not that easy. And Canelo's probably the best fighter in the world. So if he having a hard time doing it, listen.
One thing my pops
to move up.
One thing my pops always said is it's a lot different. Like just going from 147 to 154, they hit different.
Oh yeah, that power real.
Like that 147 to 154, them dudes hit different. That's why I always see them like them bigger welterweights. They do so good at 147. A lot of them, they be like, shoot, I'm trying to stay down here at 147 because that once you go up to that 154, it's a different ball game. And then going up past that, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Speaking of hit different, my Phoenix Suns got their ass whooped.
Listen, the ball don't touch the floor, man, because I was about to bring it up, man.
Like,
what happened, bro? Like, what happened?
First off, what happened is they were some hoes, bro. They played like some hoes, like
especially game 7, bro.
That's all I'm talking about. Game 7. So I think Booker ain't scored his first point till like the third quarter.
Yeah,
Chris Paul didn't score a point till like I think before halftime. It's just like, hey, bro, like when that happens, it's nothing you can do. And this team was flawed, and the Pelicans exposed it, and the Mavericks capitalized on it.
I like the way you put that.
Because like I was saying with like how I was saying, we didn't really have no answer for Brandon Ingram. And then you had guards that could really, that you like, not even just guards, just bodies you can continuously throw at Chris Paul. And at 36 years old,
he's old, man.
He's old, and I take that into roster construction where we don't have another We don't have another guard that can really be a playmaker. Campaign, he did it like he did his thing last season in the playoffs when Chris Paul, I think he messed up his shoulder and it fucked up his hand and all that shit. Campaign came in, he brought a lot of energy and stuff.
Bron told him be humble, man.
Yeah, but he was a complete no-show. Devin Booker, you look at the his averages throughout the playoffs, and you be like, oh yeah, like Devin was cooking. He averaging 20 points throughout the playoffs and four boards and stuff like that. But the timing of it, it wasn't really there. He would get his points
in the playoffs.
He would get his points in the first quarter. He'd probably get then he'd come back again and get you some more points in the third. But it was really on Chris Paul to close the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, when you have Chris Paul at 36 being your best player, and he is the Suns' best player, and he has to start the game and try and get hot. Because if he don't get hot, if he don't look at it, if he don't get hot early, the end of the game, he's not even going to attempt to shoot because he don't feel like he's in the rhythm. Right. And if he's not shooting, Devin Booker, he's not shooting. Devin Booker wasn't even the leading score. Like he was only the leading scorer once in the entire playoffs. This entire playoff series in the fourth quarter. Like you need Devin Booker to step up as your scorer.
Can I give a Book disclaimer?
Go ahead.
Book, and this is not an excuse, but I didn't like this comment that Hill posted. He said Booker was supposed to ascend to superstar status. He let me down. He got a bad hammy. And I told people that, and we're going to come back to Aiden after this, right. But I told people that you just can't come back mid-playoff in a hammy and be the Booker that we were before. It takes hammies and injuries, that takes a couple weeks, almost to a month to really get back. So I feel like Booker played through it, but I feel like he just wasn't himself when he came back. He was still elite, but I feel like he wasn't himself. And I do feel like he is a superstar in the making. Now, when it comes to Ayton, they did not use Ayton enough, but it's because when Ayton was in there, he wasn't showing enough. Now, this could stem from Hill, what you said earlier in the year, about him being unhappy about the contract situation. I don't know. But what I know is you're one of the premier big men in the league. You got to play bigger than that. And it's something wrong with this generation where they let so many outside factors always matter. I think back, I'm watching The Last Dance over because I was sick this past week. And it's like, with all of that stuff going around with the Bulls, like Phil not coming back, all of this stuff, they still took care of business. And that's one thing that doesn't happen a lot with this young generation. They let the off court spill onto the court and it messes them up. So it's like, just got to be mentally tough and more physically tough, Aiden. But it's also on money.
So I want to, I'm not giving Book no pass for the hamstring, and I understand.
Well, he should not have a pass.
Yeah, I get it, but hey, bro, if that's you came back.
Yeah, you came back. You came
back. To me, once you're on the court, you on the court.
That's fair.
Because had he played good, they'd have been like, oh, he did all this. What a great performance.
They would have.
So you would accept all the glory.
Yeah.
So you still got to take this critique. And like I said before, you 10 years younger than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
A Chris Paul bad quad versus a Devin Booker bad hammy.
Spicy.
So Hill says, now y'all about to lose Ayton because y'all didn't value him. Well, we needed to see if he would value himself.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Ayton's career, going in, Ayton was in this, we took him number 1 overall in that class with Luka and Trey. After towards the end of season 2, you were getting reports from the Suns media and nationally did they make the right choice? Mm-hmm. There was even within the Suns media is DeAndre Ayton a bust already? Because he was he never came in motivated. He got moved around a lot. and he wasn't the defensive presence you wanted him to be, and he wasn't a fierce rebounder like you would expect a 7-footer to be. And then he had the 25-game suspension when we were going into the bubble, and they narrowly missed the playoffs that year by 1 game. So that was also something where it's just like, okay, Aiden, who are you? What are you showing us? Like, can we count on you? And within those seasons, it was always he's never consistent because he doesn't have he needs external forces to motivate him. He's not motivated every single day to come in and be the best that he can be.
I can agree with that about him.
And then when we got Chris Paul, all the stories have came out how Chris Paul was really getting on Aiden. Chris Paul was, motivating DeAndre Ayton. Chris Paul was getting him in the right spots. Chris Paul was telling him you have to be fiercer on the rebounds. And Chris Paul was helping him, get himself in the right spots on these entry passes so that he could, be an offensive force. And to me, I can't make you a max player when the guy – no. I can't make you a max player when the guy that motivates you, I don't know how long he's going to be able to be here.
Facts. No, that's why you can't motivate yourself. I can't make you a max player. You gotta be self-motivated. That's what I think. That's what max means. Like, come on, you're motivated to the max.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, okay, we know like the potential that he has, but to me, I need more from you. And Hill says, we know the old saying, feed the big man and keep him engaged. But even when he is getting fed, he's extremely inconsistent.
Yeah. And some big men gotta here's the thing. I've seen some big men that get their own food.
And it's not
their own points.
And it's not like DeAndre Ayton can't. He gets the ball. And to me personally, I believe that with DeAndre Ayton, you see him, he gets the ball, and as soon as he gets the ball, he's looking to do a turnaround shot. He's not imposing he's not imposing his will like he should be. And to me, that's an issue, especially like I said, when we don't know how much longer Chris Paul is going to be there. And I don't as Hill says, he's saying it's time to blow up the Suns, though. Y'all have reached our peak. Yeah, we may have reached our peak, but to me, there can be roster modifications that can keep you. Like, to me, if your peak, if you reach your peak at 64 wins, you can do some roster modification. You can win. You can win 60 games next year. You can go down, but be a better team.
Facts.
So I think, to me, what they need to do is they need to find 3-point shooting, because as you see, the Mavericks shot us out the fucking gym.
That was unreal, man.
Like, when you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker as your two, main go-to guys as scorers, and they live in their mid-range, even if they hot, you out here trading threes for twos, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And you're not even getting high percentage twos because you're shooting mid-range shots. So to me, what you need to do is you need Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is he's possibly your second best defender, but he's when he's on the floor, if he's so streaky, he may take three threes and not hit a single one.
How are we always still talking about Crowder?
So and no, it's not that Luka didn't shoot us out the gym. No, the Mavs did. The Mavs did shoot us. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30. Maxi Kleber and Davis Bertans, they were drilling threes. Fucking Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith were hitting key threes at 3 points. So you at a point where you could be at 1 through 4 or possibly 1 through 5 is hitting 3-point shots when you're on the court. But when the Suns are on the offensive side, you only have Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, and Jay Crowder, who are
Book should have never. He psychologically got Luka started. That was a fatal mistake.
To me, I don't care. I don't care about him being psychologically started
kill mode after that,
because Luka was already in kill mode. Luka was already killing us the entire series, bro.
But he was still okay. It was all right, he can miss. Then he went into that Luka mode.
No. Luka went into superstar mode because Luka is ascending into a superstar, and when it comes time, he's like, okay, I'm going to elevate my game. And then also, not only did he elevate his game, but he also had his supporting cast show up.
Yeah, no, they elevated with him.
The Suns supporting cast didn't show up. Hey,
Right.
Cam Johnson, you are supposed to be our sharpshooter. You couldn't hit a fucking three to save your life. Jay Crowder, you supposed to shoot threes. You can't hit a three. Mikal Bridges is still scared to shoot.
Yeah.
And so Hill's talking about every other team. AJ wants to blow a team up, but the Suns need modification. This is our second year in the playoffs. Am I not tripping? How early did I didn't say how after 2 seasons and one team going to a championship and losing in the finals that they should have. I said the Blazers should have. I know he's trolling.
But look at this next comment. How is Booker psychologically messing with Luka, even with his hamstring? Like that's two different things, bro.
Yeah.
But we can't beat a dead horse.
Yeah, definitely.
Because what I want to talk about, when we talked about you said shot y'all out of the gym, I feel like the Bucks got shot out the gym too by Grant.
Yo, Grant was killing.
Like Grant Williams, like what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
And as crazy as it is and stuff, I don't necessarily want to just go out and just be like, hey, this was the Celtics. They had more of their pieces. Not having Chris Middleton, bro. That's a different series.
They wasn't banking on Grant though.
Yeah, no, of
course
it's
definitely a different series with Middleton.
They definitely weren't banking on Grant, but Grant came in, he closed that motherfucker out, boy. And
it was right after Hill was saying he was trash.
Yeah, it's Hill's fault.
It is, bro. I was rooting for Giannis, man. I wanted Giannis to get it done by himself.
Hill is Grant Williams, Devin Booker to Luka. He got that motherfucker started.
And what up, Jaquise?
What's up, Jaquise?
I'm gonna get it at Celtics their love, bro, because JT, man, JT, Horford, Smart, even though he out right now, but Jaylen Brown, like y'all boys, man, y'all been on a tear through these playoffs, man. And JT is really, we talk about stepping up to that next level. He's doing it, man.
Jimmy Butler, boy, he giving him he
right now
he gonna be tough.
Yesterday he gave him fits, man.
Let me just. So AJ wanted the Sixers to immediately blow up, but I digress. I didn't say I wanted them to immediately blow up. I said you need to get rid of Ben Simmons, because what I also said in the time was because Ben Simmons hasn't progressed from the day he stepped onto the court. He was who he was when he came into the league, from the moment that I said he should have been traded, from the moment he did get traded. So yeah, that's why I said, because to me, like I said, you should build around Joel Embiid, because the moment you drafted Joel Embiid, the process could have stopped. Is that not what I said also?
You did say that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, man. But moving forward, because we talked about how they did the Bucks, I had to get it out there, because Giannis, you got to get your criticism too. You didn't get it done, whether you had Middleton or not, and you look lost in Game 7 too. You did not look like the Giannis. But let's talk about this Heat game yesterday. Oh my gosh, man! And people
Jimmy Butler,
telling Hill over and over that Jimmy Butler's not a superstar. Can't say it no more.
And see, to me, what I can't stand about when people talk about who's a superstar and who's not, they always look at the pretty stat. How many points do you get? Jimmy Butler can score 10 points and have a superstar impact on the game.
Facts.
Because Jimmy Butler can go out there and get you 10 boards. Jimmy Butler is going to lock up whoever the fuck is your best player and say, yeah, he ain't, like, I don't want him to score. And he gonna make shit a living hell for them.
Yeah.
But then guess what?
Score whenever he wants to. That's the weird thing about it.
But to me, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys where it's like he said it, he was like, I ain't out here trying to be shooting threes. I'm trying to be in there banging.
Yeah, facts.
And so, he can definitely do that. And like I said, defensively, he's one of those people where it's just like, damn, Hill, you right on spot. He's one of those players where it's just like, hey, Jimmy, I need you to go lock somebody up for me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Say less, coach, I got you.
Yeah.
Spoke would be like, hey, Jimmy, We need you. We need 40 tonight. We need a big one from you. We on the road. We need a big performance. All right, cool. Say less. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the ability to go out there and do
Oh,
it.
Spo and his adjustments too, man.
Yes. Hey, bro. Like Spo been proven since you know since we've been saying, hey, people was talking about him. Hey, Bron's the coach. Hey,
No.
they looking like Spo been doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and
Mm-hmm.
they made a really good choice in hiring him. And
Pat
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 Riley and Spo,
Riley
man.
groomed him, bro, and he didn't groom him just from. He groomed him from a kid. Like he's been working for the Heat since he came out of college. He did his internship there.
Yeah,
So
video
that's the
board.
definition of a. He's a part. He's a staple in that organization.
Yeah, definitely. So I just believe like with the coaching, I like the Celtics. I like Ime Udoka, but
Can the
I
Celtics
think
get healthy in time?
yeah, that's gonna be the thing. But it's gonna be a really good series. But I just think that the the Heat will prove to just be a little bit too much. Because like I said, Spo's out there coaching his ass off. Jimmy Butler got that 1-2, and I think the Celtics might be a year early. I think their championship run is definitely gonna come next year, where they're gonna be that championship contender and they really gonna step up. Because we saw them get hot at the right time, but now I just think you might just have run into the buzzsaw.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that they wasn't healthy game one. I hope. How long is Smart supposed to be out for?
Oof. I think he might just be out for game one.
Okay, and
So
Horford.
he may be able to come back, but who knows? So Horford coming back, that will be a good pick. But like I said, with Jimmy, Bam, that's gonna be tough.
That's
It's
why,
gonna
but you need Smart too to put some because hero man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like when you get Smart out there, they can make it a little bit more difficult for having Hero and Duncan Robinson on the court because
Mhm.
they're such defensive liabilities.
Yeah,
But man, if you don't have Marcus Smart out there to kind of add another defensive presence where you can have Smart, Brown, and Tatum and get that link, it's gonna be tough. But
fact.
I'm not saying the Celtics can't do it. I just think it's just
It's gonna be tough.
it
It's
just
definitely
it's
gonna be
gonna be
tough.
tough, and I think it's just gonna prove to be a little bit too much.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
And I think did we ever do finals picks? Jaquise asked what was our finals picks. I think I had Phoenix and Milwaukee. I think that's just off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
you can always go to our page on
Yeah.
IG and it
But
should be up there, Jaquise.
and right now, I think where as it presently stands, I'm gonna go ahead and just say I'm gonna go with the Heat and the Warriors. And I think the Heat are going to win the championship in 6.
And I'm gonna go with Celtics and the Mavericks.
Oh shit. Damn. You got you
And
get
that's for my boy Juan, man. Regardless of how good my teams ever do, he can never give him credit. So it's like I ain't gonna give Golden State any credit until they hoist it, man. They
hey,
gonna have to hoist that thing. I'm against them to the end.
it's definitely gonna be a tough series for the Warriors, but I do think that they have enough.
They do got
And
enough.
and
Let's
and
be
I think they still have enough in the tank to get this one done.
I hope
They're
not.
they're very inconsistent, and Memphis really had a chance to beat them. But
Hmm.
Memphis is just so young, and they play dumb. Like they really just play dumb at points. And so I think that is going to be a really tough series. And seeing what the Mavs did to us, I definitely can't hate on them. But I think once again, like I said, I think they were the perfect matchup for us
I think so. I feel
because
like y'all were the team
because
designed to beat Golden State.
because the Mavs, like I said, we didn't have enough shooting for the Mavs.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough shooting for the
I
Mavs.
mean, normally y'all do. It's just like you said, you got to get more certified shooters because it's Cam, he just let y'all down, man.
Yeah. So everybody let us down. Cam, Monty,
Facts.
all of them.
That's
So
big facts.
yeah. So fuck it. No need
That's
to
big facts.
hark on that. We're no longer playing. Yeah. But did we already talk about the Warriors series? Shit, we talked about that.
No, Warriors and who did they just beat?
They just beat the Grizzlies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
we ain't
they
really
got
talk about that.
yeah.
But it was a good series early on. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely. And then, we had the unfortunate injury of Ja going down.
yeah,
But they made a statement.
they did make a
The
statement, man.
Warriors is out there looking like the Suns when that game that Ja went down. Got that
Facts,
ass tapped. I was like,
facts.
wait a minute. Made me lose some money and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be an easy one in the bank.
Can't never write nobody off, man. It's the NBA.
Them boys got pride. Hey, would you look at that? I just got the notification rolling. I don't know why everyone thinks I'm gonna cry in the car when, like, I was prepared
He's
for
not.
this.
You're not gonna cry in the car, bro. Like
Guys, I am
he's been a
okay,
Suns fan forever, bro.
bro.
He's been through worse.
Worse, I remember why we got DeAndre Ayton.
Because
we
they
had
were completely trash.
we had all the point guards in the world, and then traded them for all the wings in the world. That's why it's a wing shortage now, because the Suns had it. The world's still trying to catch up from that. But the Grizz, they definitely showed us they're here, and I definitely, to be quite honest, I think it was a really good thing to not have LeBron in these playoffs.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I think without having Brown in these playoffs, we've been able to see a lot of these, teams that are up and coming,
Future.
and teams that are like these players that the NBA is going to really be living off, like making a
Next 10
name off
years.
of,
Facts.
for a time to come. So you
Facts.
got Luka in the playoffs. You got Jason Tatum in the Celtics, which is a whole team that you can really,
Facts.
sell. You had Ja Morant, and who knows if Pillsbury Doughboy comes back and what he does with the Pelicans, and then that could be a force. And we all like Willie Green, man. That's he did a hell of a coaching
Willie
job down
Green.
there.
Yeah, man.
So I think the league is in real good hands, and it was good.
I definitely have enjoyed it, man. Like you said, got to see a lot of young ballers. It's like even though Bron's my guy and the Lakers are my team, it's like breath of fresh air, man. I've been seeing Bron in the playoffs forever. And one thing I do like about sports is that sports don't last forever. Like eventually you got to pass the torch. And I'm not saying like Bron will never get back again, but he may not. And I'm fine with that. But it's like I enjoy seeing new teams reach new heights. I enjoy seeing new players reach new heights. Like Maxey, man. Like Maxey, one of my favorite players now. Like
Yeah.
just off us being able to, see him, even though I did watch him this year during the regular season, but it's just like, he had to go a little bit deeper into the playoffs. So it's like, all right. But I definitely enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like some of those narratives, really are able to really be built on these players, and they can begin their legacy. But to go back, even with Bron being 37 now,
Mm-hmm.
I think a healthy Bron, he still has. I think he could.
Kinda
I think. I think he could. I don't. I won't say he's able to play a long time, as an elite player. I think Bron can still give you a good, 5 more years easy and look good because of the way he takes care of himself. And
he gotta find his role though. He gotta stop trying to be le GM.
yeah, definitely. He's definitely got to find his
We ain't got
role.
no
And
picks.
I think he just need to stay his ass on the court and
Just play ball like everybody else.
be a leader on the court. And to me, I think he definitely could, continue to put up, similar numbers. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a 30-point scorer, but he'll still be able to give it to you, a night here and there. But he's still gonna be able to give you, your assists, your rebounds, and
Mm-hmm.
he's gotten better as a 3-point shooter. So now he'll be able to, come in, knock down some shots, spread out your offense, run your offense. So yeah, I definitely think that even though y'all don't have any picks, it's, some moves that could possibly be made. And
It's just scary, man. Our situation. We got to trade some people, man.
I mean, that's the only hope, to be quite honest. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a sign and trade and y'all send us AD and y'all can take DeAndre Ayton. Psych!
I'm about to say
That is the that is the 3-Man Weave podcast. My name is AJ. That is Cannon. Hill somewhere in his comments. He was ready to type up some shit because I know it. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you haven't done so, like this video, hit that thumbs up button right down there. And we want to shout out to all the fours. Thank y'all. Y'all come in every day, every Wednesday, and make this show what it is, man. We appreciate y'all and all your engagement. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. And it's 3-Man Weave, and we out, baby.
We out.